This week, I was very excited to explore digital gardening in Scrintal, how I will build it, how everything would come together. And today, we are going to go through the end product of my exploration in Scrintal. As you can see here, this is the public desk, the main board that I'm going to be going through. I would have spoken about Scrintal in my first workflow Workspace Wednesday video. The concept of a virtual desk with your cards laid out in front of you, and you're able to arrange them in ways that make the most sense for your brain. I mean, what could be more intriguing for a visual learner? Well, as it turns out, a public virtual desk is the answer to that question, for me at least. I don't know about most people, but I have been obsessed with personal websites for quite some time. And then recently, when I discovered the whole personal knowledge management ecosystem, digital gardens, public notebooks, that obsession just kind of grew and skyrocketed. So today we're going to be going through Scrintal. I mean, there's just something very visceral and real about getting to have these glimpses into someone else's world, their views, their workflows, how they do things, and just to see what they're thinking about and to learn more about them in a way that doesn't appear overly curated. And I think that a lot of people, at least like myself, I shouldn't say a lot of people, I don't know, but I appreciate that. So, and I know that people that build these digital gardens, they must appreciate it as well, because they put the effort into, not overly editing things, right? Anyways, let us get into Scrintal. This is the desktop app that I have open here. This is the layout that I've kind of settled on for how I want this to look. So we're just going to go through the layout first, and then I'm going to go a bit deeper into it. So at this top here, we have two introductory cards. I have just a hello card and a points of entry. On the left, recent notes for, as you guessed it, recent notes. And the main meat of the matter, which are these notes that you can see, and I've kind of tried to group them according to a category. This layout is, I like the layout overall. I'm not too crazy about these arrows. I know that they are showing, of course, links to different cards, and I like that, but it gets a bit crazy here for me personally, and I wish that maybe if there was a way to, I don't know how that problem would be solved. It could just be me, but I am going to go through a possible second layout that I was thinking about towards the end of the video. But anyways, let's begin at the top here. So if we go to the hello card, so this is essentially, so the hello as well as the points of entry, these are just the two main cards that I would want if someone is clicking on the link to this public notebook or this public desk. I want them to kind of click here first, which is why I put the hello card in pink and this in green, just as sort of a top level navigation for people. So here I just have an introduction, I have some links, a bit about me, and that's essentially the hello card. You can get to the points of entry card as you would have seen before when I clicked here. These cards are linked, and the points of entry has each of these blue cards, the title names for each of these blue cards, right? So if you come here, you can, if you prefer, rather I should say, to browse based on category as opposed to based on recent note, you can come here first and click on any of these links, right? The points of entry was something that I saw on another digital garden. I'll point that out because I do have a note with a list of personal websites, this one here. So I'll point out where I got the points of entry kind of navigation or wording from. Right, so let's go from the, why do I keep zooming in so much? Oh my God. The zoom on this is a bit wild. Okay, let's go to here. So recent notes. I currently have, now this sort of setup that you can see here, this is a table, and I've just added in these 3 cards, which are the most recent notes that I would have created. Of course, it would be great if this were somehow an automatic, maybe you can have a hashtag automatically add cards tagged with a specific hashtag, for example, recent notes, into a table, but that's not currently a thing that you can do. I'm not sure if there are many use cases for that in any case, but I like to, when I go on a digital garden or someone's public notebook, I like to see 2 things. I like to see the categories, like what their main points of entry, and also the main topics that they talk about. And then I also like to see, what have they recently been thinking about? What have they recently been working through? So that's why I included this card. It didn't have to be in a table. It could have just been another one of these blue cards and then have the notes linked in the same way. But I was just playing around with formatting. Right, so let's go into one of these notes. This is a note on rethinking my everyday carry that I literally wrote this morning because I was really trying to rethink my everyday carry. You can change the size of this card if you're looking at it on, or if you're browsing the notebook on desktop. I have included an image, I have some links, essentially these are my notes. I'm trying to figure out if I should purchase one of these everyday kind of carry bags. And I'm really just working through my thoughts with this in this card, in this note. So that's what is in that card, right? So each of these categories here, they contain cards similar to that one. It's just a card. There's a title, and there's the information inside of it. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I don't know why I said that. But anyways, if we go into this card here, again, just a list, as opposed to the other one, just a list of some digital gardens that I would have come across and enjoyed. I just compiled them into this list here. I will actually go into this when I show you the not the desktop, but when I show you the web browser viewing, I'll click on some of these in a bit. Right, so these are the recent notes. It's a column, it has these cards. Let's move along here. I'm going to skip this digital gardening. This is just 2 notes here, but a lot of some of the features that you can see with Scrintal and having it as your digital garden, we can see in the books section here. So I always like to see what people are reading. Therefore, it's fitting that I have my library on my digital garden as well. So if I double click on this card, it can open up here. And I have the books that I'm currently reading. This is just a screenshot from Goodreads of my recent reads, but I've added in the other books that I'm reading. This is a linked text to the How to Take Smart Notes card, which is the same card that you can see down there. All right, so again, just an image of the book. I put this source because these are not my notes in my own words per se. I was just kind of working through what these different categories were and making notes from How to Take Smart Notes. Wow, that sounds a bit meta. But anyways, I have my books organized by the year that I would have read them. I essentially went through Goodreads and typed in all of the books that I would have read as far back as I would have stored in Goodreads, which was up until 2011. Right. So the good thing here is that, you don't have to open up another card to be able to see these notes. You can simply click on this terribly heartbreaking roller coaster of a nightmare book and see what I would have written, what my notes were for that book. I know that, for example, I would have linked, if I clicked on House in the Cerulean Sea, I know I spoke about A Little Life here, so that's linked as well. And you can see that pops up and you can read through A Little Life, my thoughts on it as well. So this is what I love about Scrintal as a digital garden. Everything is linked very seamlessly, as opposed to the Notion garden that I would have walked through last week. I like the linking here. It's a lot more intuitive and it's a lot more fitting for a digital garden like you would have seen in the Obsidian gardens that I shared last week as well. All right. Next up, reading list. Just a list of books that I want to read next, and another screenshot from Goodreads. And just to have this showing up here, I've linked some of the books that I actually have notes on. What I should have gone into first was that each of these blue cards actually have the links to all of the cards that are underneath this category. Right, so you can see books, and more books, and I also linked the notes that I actually have the books that I actually have notes on. If we click on digital gardening, there's a list here as well. If we click on impermanence, I only have one note there, and it's like a point of entry within the point of entry card. If that makes sense. And yeah, essentially that is the crux of this. Some notes have nothing. I don't have anything here. It's just an idea that I had and I wanted to kind of work through it at some point. So some cards don't have any content. This one as well doesn't have any content, but I can easily add that content that information when I want to. Right, I can take notes from a video, right? This can easily pop out here. I can press play and I can take any notes from quotes from the video that I want as well within Scrintal, right? I think that's generally it in terms of the layout. Now I want to quickly, before I go through this card, which is just the benefits and drawbacks that I have found for digital gardening in Scrintal, I wanted to just add some notes from my desk and go through the workflow of how you actually use this. So as I said, I'm in the desktop version. So this is not the link to this desk in the browser. I'm going to go through that in a bit. But let's add some notes from my desk. Now, I probably should have said this at the beginning as well, but this Renee's public desk is a board. So I would have saved all of these cards as a board, right? Let's go to my actual desk. As you can see, I just have some notes here because as I was reading through how to take smart notes, I was taking smart notes at the Existentialist Cafe. So that's kind of what I was working on. That's what you can see at my desk. I have some other cards down here, which are unrelated, but this is mainly where I'm working at right now. So when you make these notes, if I wanted to add these to my public desk, so you can think of this as the OG or the private desk. The public desk is the one that's in the board, right? So let's say I want to add these to my public desk, right? So I can select, I don't want to select the permanent notes title box. I can select these. Actually, I do not want to select these. I want to go back to my public desk and I want to link these cards from there. All right, so let's go back to the board that I have, Renee's public desk. Let's create a title card called Existentialism. And let's go ahead and link those cards. So I know one was titled 1. Actually, instead of doing it this way, because I'm not going to be able to see those come up as nicely, to collapse a card, you just click these arrows here. I'm going to change the color one time to blue. And to add the cards, I'm going to go to my archive and I'm just going to type in 1. I'm going to see these are the 2 cards that I have up here. Selecting both of them, I'm just going to drag them onto my public desk. And I'm also going to get that other one, which was, I believe, Existentialism as a Mood. Let's grab that onto here. So these would be my 3 cards under this heading. I want to link these cards to this main category card. So I'm going to put mood. I wonder, oh, nope, that didn't work. I put a space. So you can't put a space if you're going to link to a card. 1A. So if I do 1A, that's going to link there. I want to do 1, which the name is the opposite here. And then existentialism as a mood. I don't know if I can just type mood. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to rearrange these in order. To do that, you click on this little toggle navigation thing here and you just move it to the order that you want it in, right? And as you can see, the arrows would have appeared because I've linked these 3 cards to existentialism, the main title card. Right now, what I'm actually curious about is if these cards are still on my desk, my private desk. I don't know. Oh, they are. Okay, that's actually quite nice. So I've added it to the board, but they remain on my public desk. Okay, that's good because at least I can continue working with them. Let's see if they will update. Let's go back to my desk. Let's click on this one. Sample text. It should. I mean, I can't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, sample text. Now, what I don't think updates is okay. Let's open up the main category card here. Let's open this as well, and let's change the title here. So let's say the opposite of essentialism is this, you notice that this is not updating here. This is something that I realized while I was playing around with this week. The title does not update. If I wanted to update this title, I would have to remove this link and enter it again. Opposite. Yeah, here we go. So that's kind of a drawback. I don't want to be doing that all the time. I want that to automatically update, right? So let's just remove that because I don't want that to be named. Oh, I guess I can actually just change that from here. That's interesting as well. So there we go. We've added in some cards to our public desk. Now let's go through sharing this. All right. It's pretty easy to make the notes in Scrintal, even from mobile as well. But if I were to share this, so let me pull up what I have in Arc. This is the link. This is the link to the desk, the public link. As you can see, this is the link here, right? Now, we don't see the updates here, right? The existentialism and the other 3 cards that I added here aren't here. Why is that? Because I have to actually come here and republish this board for those changes to actually show up. It's going to take a few seconds. Just waiting for that to publish, right? Another drawback, but Scrintal is still in beta, so I'm sure that all of these, well, I hope that all of these kind of delays and the not linking, changing the title of the card, I think that those will change, those will be updated. Okay, great, published. Let's head back to Arc. Let us Command R and refresh this page. And we can see that they are here. Now, a bit of navigation in the actual browser is essentially the same, you know. It's just that you can actually click on these. You can click on these links. You can go back. The digital gun that I saw, that example for the points of entry was this one. So you can see, well, entry points, and he has these, Brandon Boswell, he has these links here as well. Right, so I mean, I really do like this in terms of how it shows up on desktop. Because if I would love to go through someone else's, you know, digital gun that they built in Scrintal, because I would just be like, this is so cool. I'm just clicking around. I have that open. I have this open. You see that took a little second to load. I have that open there. You know, it feels very, it just feels nice. I can't really describe the feeling. It feels nice for me. Maybe it might not feel nice for everybody, but I like the interface. I like the experience of it. All right, let's go back to the desktop app and just go through to kind of close digital, the benefits and the sort of drawbacks. Right, so as I said, benefits, you have this unique interface, you have all of these cards, you clicking around, you're feeling like you're working at a desk, or you're looking at someone's desk, and all of these points of entry into their thoughts. Unique as opposed to an outliner application, for example. Although those applications really do have their pros as well. I like that minimal layout. I like that, especially as it's more mobile friendly, but I'll talk about that here. I can have up multiple notes open at the same time. I would have showed that just now. It's easy to visualize the progression of notes. For example, here, kind of how I was thinking of things. You do have the arrows linking you to different cards. It's very easy to link notes. You just have to press that plus sign and click on the note that you want, right? If Scrintal is your note-taking tool of choice, you can't really go wrong. You saw that from the desk. You can easily enter your notes there and link them to your public desk. Okay, if everything you're doing is in Scrintal, then this is kind of going to be a no-brainer if you do actually want to explore digital gardening. Some of the drawbacks, as we would have kind of spoken about already, automatic board updates, you do have to publish it. Is that a pro or is that a con? It's a pro in that you get to review your board before you publish it. Just in case you linked a card or you linked something that maybe was supposed to remain in your private desk, you can kind of look back and see, okay, I don't want this here. Or you can even, another thing is that you can add your cards directly to the public desk, edit them like I would have done with the Rethinking My Everyday Carry. I edited that card, I added it directly to this public desk as opposed to my private desk and linking it across, right? And once it was at least not well written, but written to a point of satisfaction for myself, I republished the board, right? So I'm not sure if it's really a drawback. It depends on you. If you want everything to automatically update, then this may get a bit annoying for you. Link hover previews. So if you go to like an Obsidian publish, when you hover over the links to another, not these links. So in Scrintal, these blue links are external links, and the purple links, for example, that doesn't have any purple links. The library would. The purple links, these are internal links, right? So links to other cards that you have on your desk. I would like to be able to hover here and just skim through those notes like I can in an Obsidian publish digital garden. That's not currently an option, right? The linking. Now, two things with the link, your sharing link. This is the one that I have for my Notion site. You see, very easy to kind of just tell someone this and they can type it in. It looks very nice, it looks clean. This one, it has the beta, it has the B, I'm assuming for board. The next thing is, so it's a long one. Number two is that this part has not updated yet. I have refreshed, I have quit the application, and the desk name, I changed it from Digital Garden version 2 to Renee's public desk, but it has not updated here yet. I'm not sure why that is, but just so you know, it hasn't updated yet. I spoke about the card title syncing and searching. Yes, so you're currently not able to search the garden, right? You can see search in your archive, so if you are in the actual app, but if I'm in the browser here, if I'm at the link, I can't search. There's no search function. If I want to just search for one word and have all of the cards pop up, that's not currently a function. That's not currently available. Mobile is interesting. I do want to talk about mobile. I did record a video. Let me see where I want to play that. Maybe I can open up a card that's empty and just have the mobile. Oh, that was into my downloads folder. Maybe I should include this afterwards because I have to resize. This isn't working. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna need to. Why is this not Resizing. Okay, can't do that. I have no idea why this isn't. You can, I'm gonna need to do the mobile separately and kind of add that into the video. But I guess you can kind of see from here that this is how the mobile kind of function is. Trying to, oh, there you go. Nope, it's not working. It's not bad, but if I went back to where I picked the link up from, I am going to have to come back to the link itself. If you want to keep navigating the different cards, you want to X off here. You want to click that X to go back to the desk. All right, I'm going to stop this now. That was a disaster. Oh my God. That was purely a disaster. I'm going to permanently delete that card. And moving back to where we were, that was it. The last thing I'm going to do is just share quickly how I would do that other layout. So I would create not create a card. I would create a table and kind of go through the headings here. Let me just zoom into this a bit. That might have been too much. Right, so I would put digital gardening, save. I would add a column, and I would put the next title, which is books, essentially. The next title, which is digital workspace. Essentially, this is just another, or you can even add these columns onto this recent notes table that's already here. But another layout would be to just go ahead and add these cards to these tables here and have it going across like this. So I would add the library to here, I would add this here, gang fit here. The only thing is that you can't collapse the cards that are empty, so that's kind of a con. But this is just an alternative layout and people can kind of scroll through as opposed to, having the whole kind of mind mappy looking situation going on. But yeah. So I just did that quickly to show you another layout option that you can explore if you do want to. And maybe you can have like an introduction one and include the hello, include the points of entry and anything else that you want people to see first, or like a start here column, right? So this is just, as I said a million times already, this is just another layout. And essentially, that is it. We've gone through the benefits, we've gone through the drawbacks, we've gone through the layout. I think Scrintal is a great option for digital gardening. I'm going to continue kind of working in it. However, I do really prefer, or not prefer because I haven't tried it, but I do want to try Obsidian. And Obsidian Publish. I just do not want to pay for it right now. So if I can learn how to do that the free way, then I will explore it that way. Another thing that I was actually looking at is going back to my bloggy kind of blog, like having my Scrintal digital garden for people to kind of browse, but the notes that are more fleshed out, more kind of permanent or completed, not just a very, very short card, like the Rethinking My Everyday Carry. I was thinking of actually just putting that back to my bloggy blog. So if I go here, bloggy. Yeah. So let me go to your post view site. Right. So Bloggy was a blogging platform that I used in the past, but I essentially just kind of want a normal looking, like a linear page for people, almost like a newsletter, just so that I can have my notes somewhere that's more mobile friendly, really, as opposed to Scrintal, but also as to more completed notes, if that makes sense. So I'll kind of test out Bloggy and see how it goes. But for now, that is digital gardening in Scrintal. Have you tried it? Do you want to try it after watching this? Please let me know, comments, Twitter, and that's it for now.